Hello and welcome. If you're watching this, you've probably felt that unique kind of frustration that only a sleepless night can bring. So today, we're going to explore a different way of thinking about sleep, one that's less about force and more about finding the right kind of support. You know that feeling, right? When the thing that used to work just doesn't anymore, whether it was a pill, a supplement, or a whole routine you perfected. And suddenly the night just stretches out in front of you, feeling completely endless. You've done everything you're supposed to. You've followed your routines to the letter. But there you are, wide awake at 2 or 3 in the morning. Your body feels alert, your mind is just going, and sleep feels like it's a million miles away. And this really gets to the heart of that frustrating disconnect. On one side, you have all this effort, the same dose, perfect sleep hygiene, the lights are off, but the result on the other side, it's not rest. And that's a huge sign that this isn't about you not trying hard enough. When our go-to method fails, our first instinct is usually to think, okay, I need something stronger. But what if that's not the right question? What if instead we paused and asked ourselves, what support is missing from my routine? And this is so important. The goal isn't to find a more powerful way to just knock yourself out. It's about finding a different kind of support, one that approaches what's happening from a completely new angle. Asking this one question really changes everything. It shifts our focus from what's broken to what might be missing. It opens up the opportunity to add a new layer of support. And of course, just a quick and really important note here. If you're taking any prescription sleep medication, especially benzodiazepines, any changes should always be guided by your prescriber. So why does a routine that worked so well just stop? Well, often it's because our bodies are incredibly smart and they adapt. Over time, you can build a tolerance to certain medications, which just means the same dose doesn't have the same effect. And that leaves you feeling kind of stuck in the middle, right? Okay, so let's look at this through a new lens. Traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, sees chronic sleep issues a little differently. It doesn't see it as just one problem, but as a sign of underlying imbalances that they call root patterns. Let's make these patterns feel a bit more real. Heart-Shen disturbance. That's basically when your mind just won't settle down. Liver qi stagnation. You might recognize this one. Your body's exhausted, but your thoughts are running a marathon. Then there's spleen deficiency, which is tied to that cycle of worry and overthinking. And kidney deficiency feels like that deep down exhaustion, like your core energy reserves are just drained. These are like a map to what might be going on under the surface. So once we understand these patterns, we can start to explore a new kind of support, one that works with the body. And this brings us to the SleepDeep Herbal Pouch. So what is it? The SleepDeep Pouch is a 100% natural herbal remedy. There are no synthetic chemicals, and it's made to be used only on the outside of your body. And this is a really key difference. If you're already managing other medications or supplements, this doesn't add a single new pill to swallow. No injections, no new oral products. The whole idea is to lighten your overall load, not add to it. Okay, so how does it work? Well, the pouch is applied to a really specific point, the navel. In TCN, the spot is called Shenque, or CV8. It's seen as this central hub for regulating the body's internal rhythms and helping to restore that sense of balance. And the routine itself is designed to be super simple, quiet, and consistent. You just place the pouch on your navel, use your sleepwear or a soft belt to keep it comfortably in place, and then you just rest. That's it. And each pouch can be used for up to 72 hours. Now, this isn't about throwing out everything you're already doing. Think of it more like building a better, more supportive structure. Your medication might have its role. Your sleep hygiene definitely has its role. The SleepDeep Pouch is just a new, supportive layer from the outside designed to help create one single, calmer routine. So what should you expect? The first month isn't about some dramatic, quick fix. It's really about gentle observation. It's a time for you to just notice the small, maybe even subtle shifts in your own sleep patterns. Here's a simple way to think about that. In the first week, maybe just notice if it's taking a little less time to fall asleep, or if you're waking up a little less. By week 2, pay attention to whether the night feels less choppy or broken up. And by week 4, check in with how you feel in the morning. Is there a little more clarity? Is your energy a bit more stable during the day? And it's really interesting. In some of the initial case studies, several people with long histories of insomnia actually reported feeling improvements on the very first night they used SleepDeep.
Now, while these are early observations, they do offer a pretty compelling reason to see how it feels for you.
So the key really is to track those small shifts. Progress here isn't about being knocked out cold. It's about gently supporting your body as it finds its way back to a more natural sleep pattern. And on that journey, every single small improvement is a big deal. So we've gone from that feeling of frustration to asking a new question, looking through a new framework, and finding a new tool. The whole goal is to give you a calmer path forward, one where you feel empowered to decide what's next for you. When you're dealing with insomnia, life can feel really complicated. But sometimes the most powerful support is also the most simple. A quiet little pouch, a consistent routine, and maybe a new relationship with the night. Simple can really, really matter. And that's the core idea right there. Something you use on the outside to support all your complex systems on the inside without adding to your internal load. So, what is the right next step for your sleep routine? Ultimately, only you can answer that. If this different way of thinking makes sense to you, you can always visit the website to learn a little more about the SleepDeep Herbal Pouch and see if it might just be that missing layer you've been looking for.